adolescents are the same, but their ability to cope in the country are not the same. They find themselves lost. They can't get a good job just out of high school. They don't really want to go to college. And I'm not saying that leads to violence, but it leads to, I think, a vulnerability to then have trouble dealing with change and challenges. I see boys and girls in my practice, and the girls tend to, even if they have anxiety or depression, they're more focused. They're ready to move forward. And the anxiety, depression, they learn to overcome, sometimes with medication, sometimes with therapy, sometimes with both. The boys are more lost. They all want to make video games as their career goal. Now that's probably unique to this area because the technology here, but literally, I'd say half of the boys I saw, I'd say, what do you think you'll do when you get out of high school? Oh, I'll make video games. And we know that 1 out of 100 of those or 1,000 of those is actually able to do that. So they don't really have a realistic sense of what to do, and then they get out of high school and they're lost. And I think that's just different from what it was even 30 years ago as I see some of these data. 10 million boys between the ages of 15 and 19, okay? Even if we say, which we do, the high percentage of school shooters, like 80%, have depression. So there's 20% of teenagers with depression or other mental health problems, so that's 2 million. How many school shooters do we have in a year? 3? So it's 3 out of 2 million. So we can't really say that if they have depression, they're more likely to be school shooters, but we can't really say you can predict that. There's a concept that goes all the way back to 1774. There's a lot of relation between suicide, contagion, and shooting, school shooting. And there's a book written by Goethe about the struggles of young Wertheim. And he's a young man who's in love with a girl who's engaged to his best friend. And he can't figure out what to do about that. So young Werther kills himself. And the way he does that is he gets next to a desk, he has a gun, he's dressed in a yellow vest and a blue jacket, and he shoots himself, and there's a book on the desk. Over the next several years, all over Europe, there were young men dressed in yellow vests and blue jackets with the young Werther book on their desk that shoot themselves. Some countries made it illegal to sell that book. So that's, if you ever had a doubt whether there could be such a thing as we'll call copycat, I think that is the most dramatic. And physicians will call it the Werther syndrome, which is this influence of others that lead to this behavior. So the combination, I think, of the explosion of social media, making guns part of what normal people do, shoot guns, and then the media coverage. I think it's not that boys are different, it's that the world is different, and this is a different way for them to that the confused, depressed, angry ones have a different way to express that now.